Hey, what's up everybody? This is K-Rail, Chief Fitness Advisor for Pine Pollen Superfoods and Train for Longevity. Today we're going to be going over kettlebell swing variations. Now, you've seen a lot of videos that we've done on kettlebells because we love kettlebells. They're a very foundational tool that can make transformations happen in the body better and faster than any other tool out there on the face of the earth, in my opinion. And they're very close to my heart, and I use them usually 5 to 6 days a week. So, let's get down to the fun activities, shall we? So the first kettlebell swing variation we're going to do is a two-hand swing. So we're going to stand behind our kettlebell in what's called the hike pass position. We're going to grab it with two hands, and we're going to have our feet about shoulder width apart and our toes facing forward. We're just going to grab it, tuck our shoulders in behind us like this, which is called packing our shoulders by engaging our lats, which is going to keep them safe. Then we're going to rip it, and then we're just going to pop it forward by doing a hip hinge. So here's what it looks like. From the side view, it'll look like this. So that right there is variation number one, which is called a two-hand swing. Now, we can turn this into a one-arm swing by just eliminating one hand and using one hand instead of two. So it's going to look like this. We're going to grab our handle, pack our shoulder, keep our shoulder blades pulled in, and our shoulders relatively parallel to the ground. Then we're going to rip it. So that's our second variation. That's a one-hand swing. Now, you can get a little fancy and do alternating arm swings, or you can do all swings on one hand and then make a switch and go to the other side. So it'll look like this. I'll face the camera this time again. Start with our left arm to create symmetry and equilibrium in the body. So you can do, say, 5 reps here, and then you can switch, do a series of reps here. Or you can alternate every single one. So that right there is a one-hand swing, alternating swings as well. Okay, now we get a little more fancy, and we can do 2 kettlebells at once, which would be doubles, which I really like double swings, because they really build nice definition inside your abs right here, especially in the summertime, when you're out in the hot sun at a park. So, rules are going to apply the same, except we're going to use 2 kettlebells. Now, I'm using smaller ones for the demo purposes, but if you get up with bigger kettlebells, you got to widen your stance a little bit. There's no specific space that you need to have with your legs, but I just recommend don't going too wide. Just get enough space where you can fit the kettlebell safely between your legs, where you're not going to have to blow your knees out like this. So this variation is going to look like this. I like to start with an inverted V of the handles like this. You could start with your handles this way, straight, or you can have them inward like that. I like to do them like this because when I pull them back, I like to turn my thumbs inward. I highly suggest to do that because in the event your arm should get too close to your leg here, you don't want your thumb being forward because you can do this and hyperextend your elbow. So rip your kettlebells back, turn your thumbs backwards, and then we're going to drive them forward. So this is what this variation looks like. 2 kettlebells, doubles. And by turning your thumbs in on that backswing, you bring them in a little tighter so you don't have to leave your legs out quite so far. And if your kettlebells are going like this, they're going to be more wide like that, and it's going to cause your legs to go out farther. So again, here's what it looks like. So those right there are your doubles. Okay, we're going to go back to the one kettlebell again. I'm going to show you this other variation. So I call this either a short arm swing or an alligator arm swing. So what we're going to do is the same thing we would do as if we're going to do a full extension swing like this, except when we do our hip hinge, we're going to keep our upper arms tight to our rib cage, and we're just going to pop our arms up like this, kind of like an alligator arm. And then we're going to bring the kettlebell back, and then we're going to drive our hips forward, and we're going to go back and forth. So this swing looks like this. Pack your shoulders, rip it, pop it. From side angle, it's going to look like this. Pack your shoulders, rip it, pop it. Okay, so that right there is called the short arm swing or the alligator arm swing. Now, one last one, and I brought my soft leather kettlebell here. And you know, if I have that thing, it's going to be kind of fancy, and it is kind of fancy. So this is called either a flip swing, or you can call it kettlebell juggling, which is commonly called out in fitness circles, out on the streets. So this is going to be performed by back swinging it, flipping the kettlebell, catching it, back swinging it, flipping it, catching it. We can do this with 2 hands and we can do it with 1. So I'll demonstrate both. If I drop it, please bear with me. That's why I brought my leather one, because it won't damage the brickwork out here if I drop it. So here's what it looks like. We're going to back swing it, pop it, swing it, flip it. Flip, flip, flip. Okay, now 1 arm. This is only 10 pounds, so it's good for demo purposes. 1 hand. Flip, switch. Flip, switch. Flip, 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 flip. And you can also do these walking. I'm going to back up a little bit. So see how fancy you can get with your swing variations? You can go reverse. Whoops, there, I dropped it. Well, it doesn't matter. That concludes the video anyway. So anyway, you get the point. There's a bunch of variations you can do with the swing. This is a great exercise for burning a ton of fat, building up the posterior chain, which is your glutes and your hamstrings primarily, and your lats, and also improving your sport performance because you're going to build a lot of power. I'm not a big fan of box jumps and like high intensity plyometric stuff where you're jumping really high. Doing swings is kind of the exact equivalent of that without having to put any kind of excess stress or damage on your joints, and that's a big reason why I love swings. So, if you have any questions or comments, always feel free to hit me up. This is K-Rail. I'm the Chief Fitness Advisor for Pine Pollen Superfoods and Train for Longevity. Make sure to like and share our videos, and please subscribe to our page. Until next time.